my mama is gonna be gone. She gonna come back at around 4:30, so you need to be gone by then, but we have this much time. I wasn't really paying attention to my period. Like, I knew that it hadn't come, but I wasn't like, like I wasn't thinking nothing of it. Like, I'm just like, I haven't bought no pads in a while. I wasn't keeping up, and I'm like, oh my god, my period didn't come this week, until a bitch stomach started getting big. She told me to lay on the hospital bed, well, whatever you call it, the clinic bed, and pulled up my stomach, y'all. And that's the first time like my mama had actually seen my stomach, like no clothes, nothing. And she just broke down crying.
Welcome back to another episode of Clocked Out Conversations. I'm your host Fahim, and today we got some more YouTube content. Pregnant at 14 years old, and how my mom found out story time. Yeah, this sounds like it's gonna be a crazy one. I'm not here to waste your time. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and let's get into it.
So y'all, this starts around 2015, 2016 now. We're gonna start way back in like 2015, 2016. Me and my sister, we were always like had a block jumping. Like, everybody knew Sanaya and Destiny's house, that's the spot. Like, we about to go over there and it's about to be jumping, baby. It was like the club. Like, you need $5 to get in this bitch. We had the block jumping. Everybody was like, we going to Sanaya house. Everybody like, we gonna be at Sanaya and Destiny house. We going over there. So we already knew what it was. Like, everybody, but
That sounds like the prime opportunity to go to Claptown University. That's what that sounds like. It sounds like your house was Claptown University. Lord have mercy.
At the same time, it was like we was the only females in the neighborhood that was like outside, if that makes sense. A lot of the other females is like, they was put up. It's like we was the only ones that knew everybody.
That's because you was 14. What you being outside for?
Well, really, it was my sister that knew about everybody, y'all. Because back then, like, even still now, I don't really like talk to people. Like, I don't put myself out there. I'm not really a people's person. So I will always know people through my sister. Everybody sitting at our house, everybody know that's what's up. They mama got the snacks. She gonna feed y'all a plate. We going over there. So anyways, y'all, she ended up getting her with this dude, and he had a friend, cousin, I don't know what they are, I forget. But that's how we end up meeting. And this is when I lost my virginity. So she started messing around with this dude, and the dude was like,
oh, she got a sister, but she in Vegas now. But when she come back, it's up and it's stuck, y'all.
I was in Vegas with my daddy because that's where I would go every summer. So we would just talk on the phone. It was so awkward for me because I'm like, it was basically like my sister was hooking us up. Like, it was like a it was like a weird ass dating situation going on, because I don't even know what this man looked like. He don't know what I look like. He claimed that he seen pictures of me, but this was like back then, y'all. We wasn't doing no FaceTime. We wasn't doing none of that. So I was just talking to him on the phone while I'm in Vegas, and it was almost time for me to come back. So when I came back, y'all, not too long after, that's when I ended up meeting him. And y'all know how we be when we little kids. Like, we just in this fake relationship and we fake together. So that's how it was. My mama would allow me and my sister to like sit outside on the porch with like everybody. Most of the people we hung out with were guys, because that's what mostly what was on the block in the neighborhood. And I miss those days, y'all, where everybody was just outside and everybody was just cool with everybody. You was playing boys versus girls, or you was just, you feel me, just chilling. Nobody does that anymore. Don't nobody go outside and just link up with the neighbors and just be kicking it. But anyways, y'all, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we will always just be outside kicking it, chilling or whatnot. And y'all, when my mama would leave, and don't act like y'all didn't used to do this, when we would get out of school, y'all, my mama would still be at work. We got out of school at like 2:30, got home maybe 2:30, and my mama would get home at like 4:30. So we like, oh, we got some time, y'all. We will always have them come in the house while my mama was gone. And she had an alarm on the door, so like we would know what was up. Like, we would try to get them out the house before my mama pulled up. But y'all know, sometimes we lose track of time. We being hot and we not worried about it. So we would know, like, if my mama was to come, because we would hear that doo-doo front door. Like, that shit would front door. So we already knew what time it was. Y'all, it would be a couple times where, like, our mom would be pulling up and was like, oh shit, fuck. Because my sister's window, she had her window, it was facing toward the driveway. So she could look out her window and see if my mom was pulling up. My room was towards the back of the house, so I couldn't see when my mom was pulling up. So we would get the scrambling motherfuckers pulling up pants, start putting on shirts, trying to get shoes and shit, yo. And they had to jump out my window because my window was going towards the back door. So they will always be like scrapping, trying to find their pieces, y'all. And niggas is jumping out windows and halfway dressed, jumping over gates. But anyways, y'all. So
am I tripping, or do y'all hear that smoke detector, that little smoke alarm that black folks always got ringing in the background? I don't know. Pay attention. Y'all gonna hear it. And it's crazy you was doing this at 14. I ain't gonna lie.
So that was when I lost my virginity, doing something I didn't have no business doing. And honestly, y'all, till this day, I feel like had I not been like doing stuff with my sister, and it wasn't like oh, I got my cousin for you, or I got my friend, I would have never lost my virginity, y'all, because I didn't even know that there was a hole down there. So I was literally like, just being young and dumb, I was just like, oh, he's gonna like me if I do this, or this is the right thing to do if this is your boyfriend.
Y'all heard that smoke alarm? But what she talk about is absolutely correct, y'all. 14 years old is crazy. 14 years, I think you're not even in high school yet. You're not even in high school yet, bro. I don't even think they didn't taught you. Well, no, I think they had sex ed in like middle school too. But 14 is crazy, bro. You barely hit puberty.
Bitch. Anyway, so y'all end up losing my virginity to that man. So ever since then, y'all, that completely like changed a lot of stuff. Like after I knew that I could do that and that was a thing, it was like I felt like any man that I called my boyfriend, I had to do that with. Like that was a thing. That was what you're supposed to do. And so that's where I got fucked up, y'all. So I was going to this one school at a time. I was going to this school. It was a really terrible school, and it's called Northwest. If you know, you know. I ended up getting in too much trouble there. So y'all, my mama was done. Like she completely took me up out of that school, and I ended up going to this charter school. The charter school had just opened up. It was a new little school. It was called Carpe Diem. It's no longer a school anymore. They closed all them schools down. But she ended up taking me to a charter school. Little do she know that's where you fucked up, because it got me to where I'm telling this story. So I met this little dude, and it's my baby daddy, and we gonna call him Fishhead. No, just playing. But yeah, anyways, I met this dude, y'all, and I forget how we first started talking. But I know he ended up asking for my kick. We didn't really talk too much at school because he didn't even go to school that often, y'all. He would be like at school 2 times out the week.
Y'all remember Kick and Uvu? I know some of y'all remember Uvu. Those are the days, man.
If that. And so we just started talking, and everything just went from there. So he started, eventually I stopped talking to dude. And fun fact, the dude who I lost my virginity to, he's actually my second baby daddy. We end up rekindling. But anyway, so the same thing happened with him. The dude that I met at this charter school, I would have him come over. I'd be like, oh, okay, boo, my mama is gonna be gone. She gonna come back at around 4:30, so you need to be gone by then, but we have this much time. Oh yeah, I would walk home, and the walk was like 25 minutes. Yeah, the walk was like 25 minutes. So we would always walk together. Now y'all, on this, we was doing this for like a good, I don't know, it was some months, I know that much. And y'all know how I told y'all that I would know like if my mama was coming in. Oh yeah, y'all, I have a bathroom in my room, just to let y'all know. But anyways, we was doing this for like a good month, getting away with it, never getting caught, you know what I'm saying? My mama, I think she would speculate that we was having people in the house, but she never really had evidence. So it's like, you can't do nothing without no evidence. You can't do nothing without no evidence, Bookie. It's all in your head. So I was doing this for like a couple months. We was getting away with it. Y'all know we was chilling out. We was beating the cakes up. I took his virginity because obviously we wasn't doing that. Like, we was 15. Nobody was doing that. I just so happened to do it because the person I lost my virginity introduced me to it. He's like 2 years older than me. So it was a thing for him. Like, he was 16. I was 14, if I'm not mistaken, at the time. 14 at the time. So that was a thing for 16-year-olds, I guess. So he introduced me to that, and I was introducing it to him. So I took his virginity, y'all. And on this particular day, my sister and my brother decided they wanted to be some y'all. And why did they put a shoe in the door so that I couldn't hear the boop boop front door? They was trying to get a bitch caught up. So anywho, y'all, I ended up getting caught up, And obviously that was the end of that. I would do it after every now and again. I would try to be slick, but like it was just getting too risky. And then also I would get caught up because like he would jump out of my side window and the neighbor could see my side window and she would snitch. So it was just over and done with. I just had to stop it because I was getting caught. And yeah, my mama ended up walking in. She comes in the house, opens my door, and he's in my bathroom. I don't know how she knew he was in my bathroom, but boom, got caught. Okay, y'all, so that was the end of that.
Imagine catching your 14-year-old daughter getting smutted out like that. That's nasty.
I ended up seeing him more after that. Obviously, I would be still sneaky like any other teenager. I was still sneaking and freaking. Yeah, y'all. So now we fast forwarding, y'all. I'm not thinking nothing of it. Like y'all know how y'all don't really pay it. Like I wasn't really paying attention to my period. Like I knew that it hadn't come, but I wasn't like, like I wasn't thinking nothing of it. Like I'm just like, I haven't bought no pads in a while. I wasn't keeping up. And I'm like, oh my God, my period didn't come this week. I mean this month. But I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying, really tripping about it until a bitch's stomach started getting big. I was confused. Like my stomach was getting large. And I'm not thinking in my head like pregnant. That never crossed my mind, y'all, ever. But like my stomach started getting big. And that's when I'm starting to think like, damn, when is the last time I had my period? Damn, like, and mind y'all, I'm only like 14 years old, so I didn't have the money to go. Well, I probably did have the money to go buy a pregnancy test, but I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have no way to buy a pregnancy test because I'm like, the people at the counter are gonna be like, why is this 14-year-old buying a pregnancy test? And then I'm just too nervous to buy a pregnancy test. I didn't even really want to face the reality that I could be pregnant. So I never bought a pregnancy test, y'all. I would look up on Google how to know if you're pregnant. And then I was like, how to take a pregnancy test at home, y'all. It said mix bleach in your pee, and if it bubbles and fizzes, then you're pregnant. And I was doing all that bullshit, and I'm like, I can't tell if this shit's bubbling and fizzing. I'm like, fuck that. And I didn't do that. So I was just like, I never really knew if I was pregnant until like it was visible. Like my stomach was really like, yeah, bitch, you're pregnant. There's no doubt about that. This ain't no motherfucking food belly, but you're pregnant. After I knew, y'all, and my stomach started to get big, I never left my room. Like I was always in my room. I would wear the biggest, fattest fucking t-shirts. I didn't want my mama to see because it was noticeable, but I could still hide it. So if I wore a shirt that was big enough, my mama just assumed that I was getting fat. Like my granny and my nana, when I would step out the room and they would see me, they'd be like, girl, you getting fat. I was always sleep, like literally always sleep.
I'm surprised that mama didn't pick up on this kind of stuff because women typically are more aware of that kind of stuff. I mean, I know if you wear a bigger shirt, girls tend to wear bigger shirts around the house, but I mean, as a woman, you notice your daughter is just sleep all the time, in a room all the time, all suddenly too. Like she suddenly just starts sleeping way more. Suddenly, you know, she really wearing them big shirts around the house. That's interesting.
And they just noticed that I was just, at that time, obviously I knew I was pregnant, but it wasn't until, this was around May because it was the Indy 500. So in Indiana, they have the Indy 500. If y'all don't know, it's the whole race thing, yada, yada, yada. So during that time, me and my family, we would always go out selling water bottles. We would make little posters and say, we got $1 water bottles, come get you some, like water, come get your water. And we would be selling water. Mind y'all, this is in May. It's like 80 degrees outside. I have on a long sleeve black Aeropostale jacket. Nobody questioned me, nothing. I'm still hiding my little belly because mind your fucking business. I'm not ready to tell you. And I was around 5 months at this point, y'all. It was hot as hell. And I my bad, y'all. Anyways, y'all, it's like 80 degrees outside. Like I said, it was hot. I had to get up out of that jacket. So I gets in the car while everybody's still outside selling their water bottles. Water. And I takes off the jacket, y'all, because I was burning up. I was sweating. I was hot. And I'm in the van. I'm just minding my business. And my mama calls me. And she's like, Sanaya, come here. And she comes to the van and comes to the door. And she's like, come here. I didn't have time to like put on my jacket, or even if I, like, she was gonna see it. So I'm like, I can't hurry up and put on my jacket and hide my stomach. Like, it was pretty much over with at that point. So I get out the van and I can't remember her reaction. I can't remember if she said anything. Well, obviously she did, because that's when she found out. But I can't remember what it was that she said, or if she even said anything. I can't remember, y'all. But I just know that's when she found out. And I don't know how the rest of that day went. I don't know. But I know that we somehow ended up at the doctor, y'all. And that's when the doctor, y'all, put up my... She told me to lay on the... It was my grandma and my mama. And she told me to lay on the hospital bed, well, whatever you call it, the clinic bed, and pulled up my stomach, y'all. And that's the first time, like, my mama had actually seen my stomach. Like, no clothes, nothing. And she just broke down crying. Like, the doctor was pushing on my stomach. And my mama just broke down crying, y'all. And I felt so... Like, it made me feel like shit. Like, it felt so terrible to see my mama crying because she just found out that her 14-year-old daughter was 5 months pregnant.
Another thing, if you're raised by a single mother and she went through a lot of those trials and tribulations herself, oftentimes they don't want their children to go through the same thing, which is also why a lot of them are unreasonably harsh on the daughters. But yeah, that's 14. I mean, I don't know if her mother was a single mother or not, but if she was, I doubt she even had a child at 14. 14? Like, your body isn't even done developing. Really? Like I said, you're not even in high school. Yeah, that's crazy.
It made me feel like shit. And so after that, my mama tried to, like, she tried to, like, put abortion and adoption in my head. But I was like, nah. Like, nah, it wasn't really a thing for me. Like, even though I was 14, like, I had the mindset, like, I'm gonna make this shit work. Like, I'm gonna figure something out. Like, I was a hustler, baby. I'm cutting grass, I'm cleaning houses, I'm ironing clothes, I'm stealing candy from Family Dollar and selling it at school. I used to be a get it out the mud man. I wish I still had that type of mindset because I've lost myself. Anyways, that's besides the point, y'all. But I used to be a hustler. Like, I was doing everything that I could to make money, and I didn't give a fuck. You can say what you want. I'm a female, but I'm cutting grass. Like, so money was not really an issue. And actually, like, there was so many resources that I had, and so it was honestly a breeze raising my son, y'all. So yeah, abortion and adoption wasn't something that I considered because, for one, I'm like, I did this, like, we're already here. Like, my son been in my stomach. I've been feeling him move and kick. Like, I've built a bond with my son, even though he's not here. So it just broke my heart when she even said anything about that. And thinking about having to get rid of my son broke my heart. And I'm just like, I can't. Like, I don't know how people do it. Like, I just can't give up my son.
Especially at 5 months, your mama talking about aborting her grandbaby? Crazy. But we not even talking about how this son don't got no dad. What about the dad? You got a 15-year-old father. I think he was 15. Lord.
So she asked me once, and, like, she never really pressed it. Like, she pressed it like once or twice, but it was never really a consistent, like, hey, you gonna have to get this done or you gonna get the fuck out. It was never none of that. So y'all, the crazy part is my mama was actually pregnant as well at the same time. And I didn't know either until my sister had ended up telling me, and she was like, she found pregnancy apps on my mama's phone. So my sister had ended up telling me, and I was like, damn. So yeah, we was pregnant at the same time. We was 2 weeks apart, which is so fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck?
Wait, hold on. So the daughter and the mother are pregnant at similar times. I mean, at the same time, but only 2 weeks apart. Apparently, they got pregnant 2 weeks apart. Does that leave comments down below? Does that build a stronger bond between the mother and the daughter, given that they pregnant simultaneously, even with her being 14 years old? That's something I would like to know. And also, now I'm not even going to try to get into the relationship between her granddaughter and this girl's brother. They're damn near the same age, ain't they? Oh Lord.
My job, my mama didn't have her last baby that she had was like, I don't even know, but it was like 8 years, I think. So it was crazy that she got pregnant at the same time as me. Anyway, so while we was pregnant together, y'all, we was doing like all these little classes, and we actually got really close. Yeah, I ended up having my son on August 29th, 2016. She ended up having my brother on September 14th, so 2 weeks later. I'm 22 and my son is now, he's about to be 8 in August. And what I will say is, like, it's been a very interesting journey, because it's crazy, because I started this channel documenting my journey of being a teen mom, and like I deleted all those videos because I got discouraged and people was in my ear, and it just makes me sad that I can't go back and look, because it's almost like this is my YouTube is like a diary. It's like a memory book. Like, that's why I like posting on YouTube, because it's like, even if people don't watch me, or they, you know, don't want to subscribe or like or comment, whatever, like, it's literally like a archive of my life. And so I enjoy doing YouTube, and this story time crossed my mind, because I'm like, why not? Like, and for a long time, y'all, I was taking care of my son by myself. His daddy was kind of like in and out of his life, and so was his family, but now they're pretty active. My son actually lives with his father now, but it took them a minute. So I was doing a lot by myself, because me and my mama ended up falling out after like I had my son. We started like really bumping heads really bad, to the point where we was just, I had to move out. Like, I had to move in with my grandma, because we was just bumping heads. She would just want so much from me. And I was going to school, y'all, and then when I was going to school, I was getting off and I was going straight to work. So she had my son most of the day, which I thank her for, because she would always have my son. She was basically raising twins, y'all. While I was at school and going to work, I would get off work at around like 10:30. I wouldn't get home till like around 11 something. I'm tired. I gotta get right back up for school at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was so drained. I was so tired, y'all. So drained, so tired. I feel like I never got to see my son. So we bumped heads a lot, because she would expect so much from me. Like, she wanted me to wash dishes when I got back home. I'm like, she wanted me to do this, she wanted me to do that. I'm like, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. Like, I understand. And so we started bumping heads. She stopped watching my son. I ended up moving with my grandma, and I just stopped going to school completely, y'all. But luckily I ended up graduating, because my counselor, I'm so grateful for my counselor, because she let me slide. But I didn't go to school a lot of the times. COVID ended up coming around, and I ended up actually doing online school, which God is so good, y'all, because he works in mysterious ways. Like, everything, I don't ever question anything in my life, because I know it's God working. Like, if it wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't have graduated. Because if it wasn't for me doing online classes, there's no way that she would have been able to work her magic with me.
We could have a whole conversation about how COVID done saved many educations. COVID saved a whole lot of education from many high school students and college students. Whether that's a good or bad thing is different, but it dang sure saved a lot of people.
You know what I'm saying? So COVID came around. I did online classes, passed, and I got my diploma. And luckily I had a job where I could take my son to work with me, because I didn't have a babysitter. Like, I could ask my grandma, but I didn't want to have to ask my grandma all the time. You know, I shouldn't have to. So I would pack my son up on the bus, y'all. I would pack him in his little stroller, have his little book bag hanging on his little stroller. And it wasn't one of them fancy strollers, y'all. It was one of them little cheap strollers. And cold as shit, I would bundle my baby up. He got on his hat, gloves, 2 covers on. I'm carrying his diaper bag, my bag, and we going to work on the Indigo bus. And that's just what it was. He would be at work with me. So that's the end of the story time. I try my best to jot everything down. I know I probably forgot some stuff, because maybe this happened, what, 8 years ago? It's too long. But anyways, if y'all made it to this video, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, give it a comment, so that YouTube can push my video out. I don't typically do story time. I had the story time on my channel, like I said before I deleted it. I don't typically do story times, but I was like, why not? Like, I wish I would have kept this video on my channel, because I could look back and be like, damn. So anyways, in like 5 years from now, I can look back at this story. So yeah, y'all, until next time, baby, Make sure I check out my other videos as well. But until next time, peace.
It's crazy to think because, I mean, we dang near the same age. It's crazy to think that, you know, like, when you going through stuff in your life, other people going through stuff in their lives. Like, shoot, 8 years ago in high school, or going into high school, shoot, I was on my Xbox, playing my game and enjoying my little life. But it's some sisters out there getting pregnant, apparently. Getting pregnant. Having to work a job, coming home tired, being asked to wash dishes and stuff. Albeit we don't know the mother side of the story. You know, there's always two sides to every story. The truth usually lies somewhere in the middle. But you know, that's a pretty difficult situation to be in. But you know, this you gotta have really good guides in your life, because one decision ended up causing her a whole lot more hardship than she would have had to experience had she not made that decision. So anyways, thank you for tuning in to another Clocked Out Conversation. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.